having an herbal kitchen doesn't mean that you always have it together and you're always making the best gourmet, herbal, organic, everything, right? It means having lots of herbs layered into a lot of different mediums so that no matter what your diet is, no matter what you're eating, no matter how not creative you feel, you can still get the herbs in there, right? Okay, so this is a good recipe. And I follow this recipe because it's so good. But if you don't have oregano, like find something else, right? You know what I'm going to say. Don't be recipe dependent. So this recipe is, let's see, 1/2 to 3/4 cup of olive oil. And then we've got 1 cup of arugula and 1 cup of salad greens. So we're getting our leafy greens, right? You can do any leafy greens that you want, but today I've got a cup of salad mix and a cup of arugula. Then we're going to put in 1/2 a cup of oregano. The oregano in my garden is just going off right now. 1/2 a cup of oregano. We're going to put in 1/2 a cup of cucumber, and you get to decide how much garlic you want in your pesto. I'm going to make kind of a spicy pesto today, so I'm going to put in 3 cloves, but you may want 1. And I have had pesto where there's been too much garlic. You get to decide. Then I'm going to put in some tamari, some salt, some pepper, 1/2 a cup of cashew, and we're going to put avocado in this. So now this pesto has arugula and oregano in it, which were both pretty spicy. And so one of the ways we can kind of temper out the spiciness is by adding cucumber. Cucumber is very cooling and it's kind of an antidote to the intensity of the oregano. And the other thing you can do is you add avocado. So you can put 1/2 to a full avocado in here, and it just turns it into this incredible creamy dip, really. But the fat in the avocado also helps to kind of calm the intensity, it helps to absorb the fieriness of the oregano. Ready? Now, the thing is, when I'm doing my pesto, I like to do the oil, the nuts, and the garlic first, because if you put those in with everything else, you can end up with like chunks of garlic and chunks of nuts. Some people like their pesto chunky. I mean, some people actually make pesto chunky. I like my pesto kind of creamy and smooth, okay? This is how I do it. So I'm going to put in 1/2 to 3/4 cup of olive oil, more or less, 1/2 a cup of cashew, and I'm going to put in my garlic, and I'm going to get that all mixed up. Okay, so I've got a nice paste with my oil, nuts, and garlic. Then I'm going to throw in my cucumber, 1/2 cup to a little bit more. I'll put in my greens, my 2 cups of greens. And then we're going to put in 1/2 a cup of oregano. And this is so good. And then I'm going to get all this mixed up because I like to wait till the very end to add the avocado in, because the avocado can oxidize. So this is one pesto that I usually try to eat that day, because if the avocado sits around, it oxidizes, and it's not good to have oxidized fat. So let's mix this up. Okay, now if you feel like so this feels a little bit dry, you can always add a little bit of water to your pesto. I don't always do that, I'm just going to put a splash, couple tablespoons of water in there. And then we're going to put in our tamari. Okay, a little bit of pepper. And the other thing is, you can add salt or you can add herb salt. I have lots of herb salt recipes, and this salt is interesting. It's got rosemary, thyme. Yeah, this is good. I'm just going to put a little bit of that in there. And you could use plain salt, but if you have herb salt, you might as well. Then we're going to get our avocado in here. So again, this is a great way to do something creative that's really based on the season, what you've got, what's at the farmer's market, and be able to take care of yourself and feel like you have something on hand that can add flavor to even a dull meal. Let's get this. Okay. Okay, that looks really good. Yum. Just the smell of it. Ah, you can just get a pretty little dish to put this in. This is a great vegetable dip. This goes really good on eggs. You can just put a dollop on so many different, it's good on pasta. And so the one thing about when I make my pesto with avocado, that, like I said, I really try to eat that day, and it's not a pesto that I freeze. So there's your oregano pesto. You can just, put that on the table, and who needs mayonnaise and ketchup? That's the other thing we got to get beyond. Why don't our condiments look like this? There's your oregano pesto, full of really good medicine and just a great way to really juice up your herbal kitchen.